Hey guys, it's Stephanie with the Rancher's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. So a couple weeks ago I shared starting seeds at home. So I start all of my garden seeds at home. There are two reasons why I do that. One big one is cost, and the second one is I have more control over what varieties I can get in all of the different produce that I want to grow. If you missed that video, I'll go ahead and drop that in the link in the description for you. Go back and watch that and you can start your own seeds at home. It's really not that complicated. It's actually really rather easy. I was not a green thumb when I started, and I would still say I'm probably not. I fail every single season, but then I also succeed every single season, and I have since the very beginning. I mean, my first garden, I had maybe 4 onions. I had 1 plant of broccoli. I had a little 2 or 3 plants of celery, and maybe some carrots. I'm not sure. But that was it. And I think I got my 1 head of broccoli. And I got no onions. And I got a lot of celery. So, you know, you just fail and you succeed every season and you keep going. Today's video, I want to show you how to separate your seeds. So if you did watch my video from a couple weeks ago, you will know that I always put 2 seeds in each hole. Sometimes more because my hands are fat and seeds are small, and sometimes they just more than 1 seed gets in there, and that's okay. If more than 1 of your seeds germinates, which that's why I do it, and just in case 1 seed doesn't germinate, the other one hopefully will, you need to separate them. And there's 2 reasons why you need to do that. And one of them is that as they grow, they're going to run out of space, and they're going to start competing with each other, and so then you're going to stunt your growth. And then the second reason is they can get, really leggy, like you can kind of see with my broccoli here. It just gets really stringy, and that just means they're not going to be a very strong, healthy plant unless you give them the right space and tools to grow properly. You can definitely just snip your unneeded seed. So if you had 2 seedlings that sprouted and you knew you only wanted the amount, if you had 1 plant in each of these, then pull the one that sprouted out and be done with it. I don't like to do that. I like to plant lots, and so I always separate them. The second question I get is, when do you separate them? So you want to separate them when their second set of leaves have came. So I brought over here just a pepper plant, and you can see that in them, it's just their first set of leaves that have germinated. So these are still baby. They are not ready to separate yet. They just each have 2 leaves, and they still need some time to mature and grow before I separate them. Now here, I'm going to do all my broccoli today. This one actually is a good one to see. Here you can see their bottom leaves are already there, which was their jump, and then now they have these nice big top leaves. So their second set of leaves, which forms them into their plant, are on their plant. And so they are strong enough, they are ready to go. To be separated and put into bigger containers. Now, I separate mine into containers like this, so I don't have to do it again. You can go even smaller and then stepstone again if they're not ready to go outside. I just go ahead and go right into the 4-inch pot, and then I put them outside when they're ready to go. So I'm going to do 1 plant into each. One thing to remember during this time is that your seedlings are still very delicate, so you want to be really careful, and I'll show you how I do that. But you're going to want to be really, really careful when you're separating them out so that you give them their fighting chance to get into a new pot and to grow. I will link these in the description. It is also linked onto my blog post. So if you came here from my blog post, you will see that. If you're here from YouTube, jump on over to my blog post, which I will put in the description, and they're linked directly there as well. But you don't have to buy these cups. You can definitely use just red Solo cups and put holes in the bottom of them. I save these year after year, though. They're just plastic, but I save them every single year. I save all of my seed starting stuff every single year. So the initial investment, I think I talked about this in the seed starting video, is up front. You have to get your lights and all of your trays and everything. But then I just save them, and I use them year after year, which then really all you have is the cost of your seed and the potting soil. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so you're going to take them out, and this one has 4 seedlings. Now, if I see any that are just really, really weak looking, I'll just toss them. It's really not worth it to me, but I will try and save as many as I can. Now this job is kind of messy, so do it somewhere where you don't care about getting very dirty. And all you're doing is very gently gonna separate them. So I just work them with my thumbs and separate all the dirt as it falls. You're really trying hard not to damage the roots or pull them apart. You want them to kind of just fall apart. As you get most of the dirt away, you can gently start to pull them. But again, you don't want your roots to get damaged because they're going to die if you do. Okay, so now I have 3 plants here, or I'm sorry, 4 plants, and I'll just go ahead and stick them right on into my cup. I make a little cavity hole. Now, if your roots have, or your stems have gotten kind of leggy, I just kind of stick them down deeper. And then I take what's left here, and I add it right on top to it. Put it down. Give it a little squirt of water because it's been shocked. And these will go ahead and go back under the light. So let's do the rest of them. Okay, so there you have it. You have all your broccoli plants separated and in their own little containers. Like I said before, you definitely want to do this, or at least pull out if more than one seed germinates in these small containers, because it's just not enough space. Now, you can very well just start them in one of these and then just yank out the one that you don't want when if they both germinate or more than one germinates. I don't, just because I don't have the light space to do that. So I start so many seeds that I just make sure to do them in these because I have enough lights to fit all of these little trays under. Once they get big enough and you have good sunny days, you can bring them outside. A lot of times I'll put them in these trays and then I'll just carry them out for the day and bring them back in if it's not super windy. When you're ready to plant, about 2 weeks before you're ready to plant, you want to make sure to harden your seeds out. So what that means is take them outside for a couple hours every single day. Sometimes I leave them outside for the full day. So I'll water them in the morning inside. I'll put them on my trays and take them outside, set them outside, and let them be out in the sun and the wind and the weather and all of that all day long and bring them back in at night. And I do that for about 2 weeks, week and a half before I plant them into my garden. If you don't harden your seedlings out or your starts out, they will get shocked when you move them, and they'll probably likely all die when you put them into the garden. So the light versus going outside is very different with wind and different things. They need to develop some stronger roots before you get them outside. They don't have any of that element when they're inside. So just make sure that you do that before you send your seeds outside to the garden. But we are getting so close to gardening season. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to start harvesting and being able to stop getting produce from the store and go right out to my garden and pick it. That's just always the best time for me in the summer. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you learned how to separate your seeds and enjoy this year's gardening season. We'll see you next time. Take care.